Now to Nigeria, where a sexual harassment claim in the country's Senate has sparked a debate over sexism in the conservative country. Senator Natasha Akpoti has accused the Senate President Godswill Akpabio of asking her for sexual favours, a claim that he denies. She was then suspended from office. Scuffles broke out at a demonstration in the capital, Abuja, in support of Senator Akpoti. Demonstrators and rights groups are calling for a transparent investigation and for gender equality. Only 4 of the Senate's 109 members are women. Well, the senator who made that complaint joins us now live from Abuja. Natasha Akpoti, welcome to DW. What do you say happened between you and the Senate President to prompt your complaint?
Thanks so much for having me on your show. And it all started about a year ago, where the Senate President made sexual advances at me. He also has publicly made sexual remarks, whereby last year on the floor of the Senate, he shot me down during a debate saying that I am not in a nightclub. And then because I refused to yield into his demands, malice developed. And from that malice, he denied me several rights. I was denied speaking on the floor. I could not raise my motions. I couldn't participate in debates. And I was removed for a number of international activities. So all of that went on, and I was still silent, thinking that in the process of holding everything up, he will discover his wrong, recognize me as his colleague, and let me work. But no, it got worse. On the 4th of February this year, he removed me as chairperson of the Committee on Local Content. And 2 weeks after, he, in a bid to take away my visual presence in the Senate, he moved my seat to a far corner. And that was where all broke loose. I lost it. I couldn't take any more of his attacks on me. And I spoke out on the floor. I refused to take to the seats that he had moved me to. And from then I opened up to my husband, which was very difficult to do because the Senate President was good friends with my husband at that time. But I had to manage a whole lot of this for 1 whole year. So I opened up to my husband. I said, listen, this is what I have been going through. I have been going through sexual harassment, and it has impacted negatively on my ability to work as a duly elected senator. And that was when I went open on the 28th of February this year on the television station named Arise, and I let my story out.
Okay. So the Senate President Godswill Akpabio denies your accusations. What happened when you submitted this petition complaining about his behaviour?
Of course, he's going to deny. Most wrongdoers would deny because it's a taboo for Nigerian women to speak about being sexually harassed. I mean, we have a culture that shames women about our bodies, and speaking about sexual harassment, even though it's a form of violence here against women, but many women don't speak about it because there's no platform to air such complaints. But what happened? On the 5th of March, on the 5th of March 2025, I submitted formally a report on sexual harassment against the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio. But what happened? The very next day, I was suspended for 6 months with gruesome conditions, that all my security was taken away from me. I was not to be near the National Assembly for the 6 months of my suspension, that I was supposed to cease presenting myself as a senator locally and internationally. And that, I think, it's really wrong. It's not constitutional, because the fact that I'm suspended illegally does not in any way take away my legitimacy as a senator. The Senate President did not elect me. None of the senators that elected me, my constituents voted me as a senator. And for me to be slammed with such conditions, which other senators that were suspended were not given such conditions. So that actually shows the amount of vendetta that I have had to deal with.
And can you explain to us what Senate authorities told you about why they were suspending you?
They summed it up to say I was suspended for gross misconduct as against my allegation of sexual harassment. But I believe that I was suspended to silence me from speaking forth, more like punishing me and setting an example so that no other woman would dare speak on such things, especially against powerful men. So they say I was suspended for gross misconduct. And I ask, what exactly amounts to the gross misconduct? Was it because I refused to move my seats? We have, there were videos that popped up whereby the same Senate President in the 8th Assembly years back, he also had a brawl in the chambers because his seat was moved when he was not duly notified.
Right.
And his countenance, there was actually much more. In the Nigerian Senate, we have had senators gone physical on themselves, shouted, insulted, cursed, and even threw items at themselves. They were not suspended. So why me? I think I am just victimized. And that's the bigger picture of how women are treated in politics in Nigeria.
And could I
but
just
let me
ask you,
say this. Let me say this, very important. I am not the first woman to have accused the same man, Senator Akpabio, of sexual harassment. There is a lady in the corporate arena about 3 years ago. Her name is Joy Nonie. She was the MD of NDDC. She actually spoke that she had to slap him when he tried grabbing her in a hotel. So this is not an isolated case. But again, I'm saying this. I would want the courage that I have gotten to speak about this this societal vice. I want it to be taken serious because there are a lot of women who are suffering, not just in politics, not just in the corporate arena, but in universities and many places. Women are sexually harassed, and there is no safe spaces for us to vent and seek justice.
Okay, thank you for that. And of course, Godswill Akpabio is not here to defend himself against that accusation you made there. But we thank you for joining us and outlining the case that you made. Nigerian Senator Natasha Akpoti, thank you so much.
Thank you.